What's up, y'all? I had no intention of making this or doing a video or anything like that tonight, but you saw the news. It just came out a few hours ago. Rondell Moore is just recently just passed away. He did, sadly, we believe it's been confirmed that he did unalive himself, and it's heartbreaking. I've never dealt with suicidal thoughts. Really, I've never struggled with that. I mean, obviously, our thoughts go haywire sometimes, and random thoughts will come up, but I've never truly dealt with anything like that. And I mean, all I can say is praise God, but I do know a lot of people who have, and a lot of people who've gone through some pretty trying times, and it's heartbreaking. My heart really, like, obviously, we've had a lot of celebrities to die recently, and a lot of people have died. My grandma just passed this December, but I don't know, this just hit me tonight, and just just made me think of the fact and really seeing Hollywood Brown, who was a former teammate of Rondell, seeing his tweets, it just really hit me, and it just made me realize, we're not alone. Wherever we're at, we're not alone. You're not alone. I'm not alone. I'm in my apartment right now alone, but the fact is, we're never alone because God is with us, and there are people who do care about you. And even if it's the most unexpected people you'd never expect, somebody cares about you. And even if you were at the point where you ticked everybody on Earth off, which is pretty hard to do with like 8 billion people or whatever, there'd still be one person, or really three persons, as a whole other subject. There'd be someone who would still care about you and be there for you. His name's Jesus Christ. And you may be watching this, you may not believe in Jesus, but first off, I will say he was a historical figure, and but he is truly God, and he loves you, he sees you, and I think we get in this notion that we can do it all by ourselves, that we've got this, and sometimes we do, but a lot of times we don't. America, as much as I love this country, best country on the planet. We've got a lot of problems, but it's the best country on the planet. Can't tell me otherwise. We have a lot of problems. One of the biggest faults of America, and we all deal with it, and we're all a part of it, really, is just how individualistic we are. And in my sociological studies, we've kind of looked at that and really like looked at the suburbs and how they're like completely cut off from everything else, and which is crazy. I mean, I love living in the suburbs. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. But I think it's just the idea that we think we've got to be alone. And I know there's times we all want to be alone. I mean, there's a lot of times I like to be alone. Like, I don't know, I just find eating alone being peaceful for some reason. Obviously, I love eating with people. I love going out with my friends. But sometimes I just want to sit and have breakfast or dinner by myself. Or I want to go on a walk just to clear my head. But all to say is, God is with us wherever we are. He loves you. He cares for you. He sees you. That's the biggest thing that I wanted to say tonight, was that he sees you. Hagar, if you don't know her, she was Abraham and Sarah's slave, or servant, be the more politically correct term. But when Sarah couldn't have a baby, she gave Hagar to Abraham to have a baby, and she was going to act as the surrogate mother. Then the whole dramatic stuff went down, and Sarah got jealous because Hagar had the baby, and Abraham was kind of leaning more towards Hagar because she was the mother of Ishmael. And so it was when Hagar fled, because Sarah probably would have ended up killing her or ran that chance to. The angel of the Lord came to her and spoke to her and gave her three things. I'm not getting into all that tonight, but after it, Hagar said she called God El Roy, which basically means the God who sees. Because when she was out in the wilderness, she was alone. All she had was her and her son, and their son was little, so he didn't know what life was like. But God sees you, and I'm sure she contemplated unaliving herself while she was out there. I mean, if I know if what I was running from, if I was running from what she was running from, I probably would. But when she called God that, it not only did it like set up the rest of history, because you go look at Israel's history with the Exodus and stuff like that, but it's really something that's important for us today, because we forget that God is there. We forget that He sees us where we're at. When Jesus called all of His disciples, He met them where they were at. Simon Peter was a fisherman. What did Jesus do? He met him while he was fishing. And I could go on and on and on. Wherever you're at, if you're struggling with suicide, God's there. He sees you. He loves you. And He cares so much about you. When God created Adam, I don't think I've talked about this yet, but God gets down to the dirt. He forms Adam. Then He breathes His breath into his lungs. And if you've never done any biblical study, obviously a lot of times the Bible uses the Lord to refer to God. But in the Hebrew, it meant Yahweh, which is God's proper name. It's the Hebrew verb to be, and there's a whole Hebrew lecture. I'm not an expert in Hebrew, but the whole different explanation. But the like official letters, it wasn't fully spelled out because Hebrews didn't use vowels, but it was, make sure I get this right, YHWH. And I saw a reel or something that said like every time you breathe in and out, you're literally saying God's name. So it's like so when you're breathing in, it's Yah. Then when you're breathing out, it's way. So just think about that. Think about that. When God created you, He put His breath in your lungs. So that every time you say His name, and whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved, meaning that God's going to be there. So every time you breathe, which is something we just do naturally, we don't really control it. And obviously, I can breathe in and out right now and control it, but overall, I don't control it. It just happens. God's there. And whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, no problem is too big to give Him. His hands literally created this earth. The Bible says that the heavens are His throne and the earth is His footstool. If as big as the earth is, now I know the other planets are bigger, but as big as the earth is for us, just imagine how just imagine how big God's feet are. But just let that sink in about how big God is. That if this is His footstool, I mean, He's definitely big enough to take your problems on. And I know this is getting a little lengthy. I didn't think I'd go this long, but God will heal you. And not only will He heal you if you're struggling with anything, not only will He heal you, He'll bind up your wounds. And what that means is He'll doctor you up. He'll take you along the process of healing. When I've never had a broken bone, but obviously our body naturally will heal itself. And like when a bone breaks, it's gonna try to regrow and reconnect. Well, if it's not positioned in the right way, it's gonna regrow wrong, and your limbs will all be messed up. But when God binds up our wounds, He repositions everything, and He takes us through that process of healing, so that when we're healed, we're ready to go. We're good. So I don't know if you dealt with suicide, if you do or if you don't. If you don't, obviously pray for those who do. But God will heal you. He sees you where you're at, and He loves you. He cares so much about you that He sent Jesus to die on a cross. This is like the worst death that anybody in the Roman Empire could have. Obviously, Roman citizens couldn't, but He sees you. He loves you. He cares about you. You're not alone. No, we're never alone. Even if everybody leaves you, Jesus is still there, and He truly cares about you. So if you took anything from what I've said tonight in these 10 minutes, remember God sees you. He's the God who sees. God sees all. He knows all. And He cares so much about you. Rest in that tonight. And I pray that this blessed you. And just pray for Rondale Moore's family. I can't imagine what they're going through right now. If you've lost a loved one to that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Or not just a loved one, but someone close to you. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I wish I had all the words in the world to comfort everybody who deals with stuff like that, but just know God sees you. He loves you. He cares about you. You're known. He knows you. He knows you. He created you. He knew you before you were even formed, before you even thought of. He knew you. And that honestly leads me to believe that before even time began, before God created the heavens and the earth, that He knew you. Because God is outside of time, He knows everything that's gone on inside of time. I mean, He can literally see us now. He can see 50 years in the future. He can see 50 years in the past. Because God's outside of time. He's not bound by it like we are. So just remember, God sees you. He sees you where you're at. He knows where you're going, and He has a plan for you. Whether you believe it or not, He does. Because He loves you. And obviously, if you reject Jesus, you won't spend eternity with Him. But He has prepared a place for you, and there's plenty of room. And there's all the thoughts about, oh, some people get into heaven, God kicks everybody else out. No, it's not true. We kick ourselves out because we don't believe. But God's not going to force you to believe. He's not going to force you to love Him, because that's not how love works. If I have to force you to love me, that's not love. Just remember, He's there. He sees you. He loves you. He knows you. He cares about you. There are people. People will be there. Sometimes it might take some time, but God will send the right people in your path at the right time. Something I've been praying for, and I'm sure a lot of you have. Just again, rest in the fact tonight that God sees you where you're at. If you've struggled with suicide, or you know people who have, maybe share that with them, or remember it yourself. Know that God sees you. He's there. In the midst of all your trouble, He is there. And He cares about you and He loves you. Say, be steadfast and movable, always abound in faith, hope, and love. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and may His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Y'all have a great night, and see you next time.